why do you think Chris Paul is getting in it with multiple people across the league?
Credit to him in this situation. He'll do whatever it takes to win one game.
Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original, presented to you by Prize Picks. It's your boy PG8, and I'm joined by my guys Jackie Long and Dallas Rutherford. And let me tell you, we got another special one here. This is Story Mode, our first episode of Story Mode, Season 3. So it's very special to us. We got Hoopers of all Hoopers. Your Hooper's favorite Hooper. This man gives you buckets underground or mainstream, whichever way you want it. We got the legend, none other than Seattle's finest, Jamal Crawford.
Man, that's a hell of an introduction, bro. That's a hell of an introduction, bro.
We had to do it right. We had to do it right.
I've been watching everybody else's episodes. I'm like, man, I'm going to get on there one day. Now I know I've arrived. I done made it. Yeah.
I like the favorite players because he definitely was my favorite player back in the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hoopers of all Hoopers.
I appreciate that, bro. For real, for real.
How you living, OG? We spoke a little bit, but how you living?
I'm great, bro. I ain't got no complaints. I'm just doing TV, coaching my son, and my daughter's in it now. My other daughter's in ballet. My oldest is doing his thing, training kids. So life is good, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. So you got a daughter that's hooping too.
She just got into it. Yeah, like she wearing her sleeve and everything. I'm like, you want to practice today? She's like, of course. Don't even ask me that. Yeah, we practice. I'm like, oh, you all the way in it. So it's dope to see her start the journey.
I love that. Was it, because I always got to ask, my daughter literally is at practice right now, but it wasn't easy to get her to this point. Was she always about basketball? Did she just fall in love with the game? Obviously, because you played, but was that like an easy, because my daughter, she don't really like sports. It's not her thing, but her friends is doing it. So she's kind of fell into it now that she's starting to enjoy it. Was that an easy transition for your daughter?
For the youngest one, it was, bro. She didn't really remember me playing at all. Like, she would get excited going to the game. She was real small. But just the fact, like, her older brother obviously plays and her brothers play, so she's been around it, kind of messing around. And then over the last, like, year or so, she's been going to storm camps and, like, everything. Like, she don't want to miss nothing. And now she's in it. And I remember the first time, even her shooting a left-hand layup, it was like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, damn, that was a moment. Like, she made her left-hand layup, going through her legs and stuff. So that's dope that your daughter's in it. Because my other daughter, London, if you roll the ball at her, she gonna look like it's a bomb or something. Like, get that thing away from me. Yeah, she don't want nothing to do with no basketball.
Right. Yeah, that's how it started with my oldest. But now she's kind of into it now. So
she at practice right now, P?
She literally at basketball practice right now.
Wow.
That's all that matters that she's there, P. You never know. You know,
dope.
something might click at one of those practices and you might not ever look back. You know what I mean? That's how I see it going down.
That's dope.
She might make a play and be like, oh, like, I could do that.
Yeah, right. Well, I will say, so like the first, because she started playing organized last year. In the first year, she was a little timid. The start of that season, she was a little timid. She, you know what I mean? She wanted to be kind of background. She didn't want the ball. She, you know, the ball come towards her. She gets small. Okay. By the end of that season, she like...
That's everything.
She pushing
bro.
the ball up the court. I'm like, man, yeah, this 1 year made a big difference.
She's using that height now.
Yeah, she's using the height. Peter, she have her own colorway of your shoe, though? Is it official like that? Like, Dad, I need my own colorway. I need something nobody got.
It's weird because she in the, like, kids wearing Jordans. Yeah. So, like, my shoes, she like, I don't really know nobody wearing Paul Georges. But her friends wearing the Jordans. So she wearing the Jordan, but she does have her own colorways. Her and my other daughter made colorways of their own. So she got her own shoe colorway. Because my shoes are basketball shoes, right? Like, she want to look swaggy and wear...
While she's out there. Okay.
While she's out there.
What shoes she wearing then? Peter Jordans, too?
Yeah, she wear Jordan 1s.
Oh, she wear... I'm surprised they're not wearing the Kobe's, everybody on her team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm shocked about.
Everybody wearing Kobe.
Everybody wearing. We wanted to take a brief break from the episode to let you know that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it is the most fun and exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and players.
Now, Jackie, I know I usually talk about the football, but I did send you a screenshot this week of me doing a couple video games, and I may or may not hit a 10x, but for this week, I'm going to keep it with Bijan Robinson. Anything that statistically he is involved with, I'm taking more on Bijan Robinson.
Man, what you showed me this week, I can't do sports right now. All I can do is video games on Prize Picks because I got to hit like you, Dallas. I can't be playing around. I got to hit like you, Dallas.
You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. So sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
So whether you think Justin Jefferson will continue to get more targets or Justin Herbert passing totals will be a little light this week, Prize Picks has you covered on every option.
Go download the app today and use our code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So you can finish the football season by downloading the app today and using our code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. P, you had mentioned that it's our first story mode of season 3. And it sounds like Jamal knows what story mode is, but for the first timers or maybe some viewers that are watching us for the first time, remind the people exactly what story mode is and what we have in store for today.
Story mode episodes are a look back at viral and memorable moments of basketball history with the OGs that were there in those moments. Obviously, JC is the OG. What I didn't know, and it surprised me, you signed to Fresno State initially, right?
Yeah.
How close were you? But I mean, obviously you went to Michigan, but how close was that? Like you going to Fresno State?
Bro, it was like that. Like I literally signed to go to Fresno State. Obviously at the time, and it's funny because Chris Herron's in Seattle right now doing some speaking engagement, but Chris Herron, Skip, Rayford Alston was there, and of course Tark. So
okay,
my grades weren't the best coming out of high school at first. And the kudos to Fresno, they're like, look, if you qualify or not, you could be a Prop 48. And come. So I'm like, I'm signing with them. I wanted to play there. I love their style. Courtney Alexander was there at the time. But that happened, and then I got extra year eligibility. And that's when my recruitment opened back up. My grades got better, and then I went to end up going to Michigan. Yeah, but that was a done deal if I didn't get that extra year because they told me they would take me if I passed SAT or not. I was just going to have to sit out a year.
Okay. Yeah, I read that. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
you would have made Fresno State valid.
Bro,
been valid.
Yeah, Fresno State to Michigan. I mean, hey, that's quite the jump, though.
So Tark came all the way down to Seattle.
Bro, he came to Seattle, and I didn't know at the time, but Tim Gergridge was the assistant coach with the Sonics. And so he had told Tark, like, yo, you need to come see this kid. And Tark is notorious for not going to see anybody. Like, you got to come see Tark. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was that type deal. But he came to Seattle and saw me and sold it up, and I signed there. And it's crazy because I never got the chance to play for him, but then the next summer when I go through the draft process, he comes and watch my workout when I'm with Gary Payton in the summer when I stayed in Fresno as well with GP. Yeah. So it was dope, like a full circle moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope right there.
Jamal, I'm looking at just your background a little bit right now, and you've played for several teams. I see the Knicks jersey and the Clippers jersey. There was a Yahoo reporter that quoted, "In 2 seasons, the Crawford deal will look bad no matter whether Paul stays or leaves." And so there was some doubt, heading into you going to the Clippers. I believe they signed you to a 4-year deal. And there was some skeptics, but you ended up winning 2 more 6-man trophies after that and really found a home in LA. And I just want to hear from your perspective. What was it about playing in LA? Or what worked for you? Was it the team was a good fit for you? It just seemed like you were able to play your game, as a Clipper when you were here.
So you got to go back to the year before, and it was a lockout season. And I left Atlanta, and I remember the lockout season. I was working out, but I wasn't like playing with people because I'm like, it's contract year. My contract got extended because of the whole lockout season. So I wasn't as sharp as I should have been. I go to Portland. I go to Portland and Nate McMillan kind of used me as a point guard, you know, and more so than a scorer. And so I didn't look right. And at that time, I'm 32. So people are like, oh, he's getting older. He's slowing down. And I'm saying to myself, like, no, I'm not slowing down. I'm just used differently. But I'm not going out there saying that. So I'm like, all right, when the Clipper situation happened, I'm like, I'm about to show them I'm all the way ready. So to your point, I just read that like 2 weeks ago too, which is crazy. I signed a 4-year deal. People don't know, only the first 2 years were guaranteed. So the next 2 weren't. So I had to play for it. So I actually outperformed that contract within the first year or 2. But I was so locked in to going to LA, I knew like I needed pressure on me. I needed to go to the Knicks. When you're going to New York, you can't shortchange it. Like you got to be ready. Same thing with the Clippers. I'm like, this is going to be the best team I've been on. I got Blake, I got CP, I got all these pieces. I got to be ready. So I trained totally different. And then when I go there, I start balling, right? But so I win 6th man. I'm 34. I'm the oldest to ever win an award. I go back and win again at 36. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I was so locked in and so focused. I'm like, I got to show up. I got to show up and show out. So the Clippers couldn't have happened if I didn't fall on my face in Portland. But people were saying it was age, but they weren't seeing what I was actually going through, playing a whole different position, used a whole different way. And PG knows this, and you guys know this. To me, especially in my situation, I'm not PG. He's a superstar. He can go anywhere and do what he does. But you're as good or as bad as your coach thinks you are. If he has you out there for 30 minutes and you got the freedom, you're going to rock out. He may have you out there, another coach, for 15 minutes, and you look like, oh, he's getting older, he's slowing down. It's just a different look, a different feel. So that's what happened there.
Wow. Yeah, people don't like understand that part. Like you can be as good as you are, but if it's a situation that don't suit you, it's not going to cater to your game. You know what I mean? You could be like yourself, all world scorer. You get put in a situation where you're not being able to thrive as a scorer. Like now you questioning your game. Like I know I usually shoot. I know I'm usually aggressive here, but I'm not in position to do that. So like, yeah, that's a big part people don't really understand right there.
P, I got to ask both of you. Has that changed, Jamal? Like from that time, just the way the NBA has kind of evolved. Like I would say like what you experienced there in Portland was like a common thing for a lot of guys. Would you say now that these coaches are a little bit more mindful of that? And I feel like coaches are more so now than ever letting guys go out there and play their game and getting their shot. Would you say that it's easier now than it was when you were kind of coming up in the NBA?
For me, I think, honestly, some of the coaches don't want the responsibility. Like now, just like to me, some of the coaches, most of the plays look the same. Most of the teams are playing the same way. It's easy to say, oh, switch that. I'll do that. So now it's on the player if it don't get done. Like I told him to switch. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it used to be. And when I was coming up, at a certain point in your career, you were put in a box, and it wasn't like positionless basketball. You know, like if I'm playing against Kobe, I actually got to guard Kobe. I can't go guard somebody else and run and hide or switch every situation. I got to fight through it. So it was different times. I think it was more responsibility on the coach as well to make sure guys are getting better, guys are in the right situations, and you got to figure it out as a coach. Now I feel like the onus, they put it more on the players. Yeah, I think it's fun to give the guys creativity that way, but it's also like, you got role players like me shooting 17 threes in the game. I think that should never happen. Like, I think it should be your best players get that. And your role players, they have freedom, but they have freedom in the confines of what these guys are doing, playing off of them. So it's a different time for me, at least.
Yeah, I was actually talking to someone, I think on a bench yesterday about this, or 2 days ago. Actually, yesterday. It's like back then, you know, and I feel like I was on the tail end of that coming into the league, but it was 2 guys, maybe 3 that had freedom on a roster, right? And it was really one guy that really had the ultimate green light, but within it was maybe like, you know, there was a second or a third guy that kind of had that green light as well. Everybody else kind of played a role. You're a rebounder, you're a defender, or you're a catch and shoot guy, right? I think now the NBA is kind of, to your point, like I don't think coaches really take the time out to really define roles, and it's kind of like plug and place, right? We run this system, we plug whoever in, they're expected to play this certain style. And you get the scenarios where someone is, I don't want to call names out, someone might get, feel a type of way, but there is a say 4th, 5th, 5th guy on the roster that gets to shoot 11, 12 threes a night. It's like, wait, what the, like,
Yeah.
Hold on, bro.
I gotta be earned a little bit, right?
Yeah, right. You're doing a little too much right now. Same to JC's point. It's just the era has just changed everything. Obviously, there's more possession, so it's kind of allowed in this era. But it's more. I would say more on the coaches kind of defining roles and teaching and coaching a little bit more.
I had to ask. All good questions. All good answers right there. All good answers.
Well, let us say good question.
I know. It's called the narrative,
Yeah. Dallas, I killed it with that one.
It's okay. You like how I quickly went over it real quick? Like, answers.
So we had DJ on the show last season, and he was a part of Story Mode, and he shared how special Blake Griffin was in his prime. During those stretches, y'all two was impossible to stop. What was the best game you've witnessed from Blake?
I'm gonna say not the best game, but the best series. And we were playing the Spurs, and at the time, the Spurs had just beat the Heat the year before. So these are the defending champions, and we get them in the first round matchup. And we go 7 games with them. It was a game. CP got hurt, and he hit the game-winning shot. You remember that game? When he had his hamstring hurt, he hit the game winner. But Blake was the best player in the series by far. Like, it wasn't even close. And the thing that's interesting about Blake is, and we play with CP, and he's one of the best point guards, not only now, but ever. So it's tough to see Blake's whole skill set. Like, people saw the dunks from a distance, but every day in practice, I saw how he passed, how he controlled the game. So when, we usually have one of those guys would miss time. CP would miss time, I would miss time, somebody missed time. But when CP missed it, Blake was really like the point forward. We ran everything through him. Me and JJ Redick was allowed to play on the wings and do what we do best, but we still stayed afloat, and he thrived personally because you saw his full skill set. Y'all, it was crazy. He wouldn't even dunk in practice. Like, we never seen him dunk in practice. He was saving those dunks for the games. Like, we never seen him dunk.
What? Y'all never seen him dunk in practice?
Never seen him dunk in practice, bro. He would get layups. He'd be dropping dimes. He'd hit threes, whatever. But when the game come, that's when we saw the show. You know what I'm saying? It's Lob City. But his full game, bro, he's like, and I played 20 years. I played with a lot of people. He's easily on the top shelf of, like, the players I've ever played with. It's not even close.
Wow.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
I want to ask you something about what DeAndre said from Story Mode as well from that last one. He said he explained some of the shortcomings of the team from the team's perspective. Which Clippers team do you feel should have won a title, but ultimately fell short from?
I'm going to go with 2 teams. I'm going to go with the one my first year. So they started CP, Willie Green when Chauncey was hurt, Matt Barnes, Blake, and DJ. But our bench was myself, Eric Bledsoe, Lamar Odom, Grant Hill, Ronnie Turioff, Ryan Hollins. Like, we were so deep.
Y'all was stacked.
We were stacked, bro.
Big
So it was
time.
that one, big time. It was that one, and then the year that we beat San Antonio, because then we go up 3-1 against Houston. And they come, that one's going to haunt me forever. We're up 19 in the third quarter at home to go on to the Western Finals. We play Golden State. James Harden didn't play 1 minute in the fourth quarter. They came back and beat us, bro. That's when Jason Terry, Pablo, Josh Smith's going crazy, Corey Brewer. So those 2 teams I thought should at least make the finals, bro. At least made the finals that year. Those 2.
Yeah, that 3-1 was that hurts.
Sick.
That forever goes down in Clippers history as like,
Man,
one of the toughest. Because I from afar, I've growing up, I was obviously being in the league. I can't root for a certain team, but growing up, obviously Clippers and Lakers were like teams I rooted for.
Of course.
And so just knowing the history behind where it came from, and I was rooting on it. Being on the East, I was like, yeah, this Clippers team is exciting to watch. They got a shot.
Yeah.
And then that happened,
Nice.
and then that's just when it was like, man, anything happens in the league, man.
I think that was my only time when I really was a Clipper fan. That was my only time I was a real Clipper fan.
Hold on, why only then? Why only then?
He's straight.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you, JC. I'm from LA, man. I'm a LA Laker. My uncles and them grew up off of us watching the Lake Show. You know what I'm saying? Magic and everything. So you know what I'm saying. I always cheer for the Clippers inside because they from LA. And of course, when PG, my boy, was there, of course I was rooting for him. But he gone now, and you gone too. Shit. I don't see your ass at the game, so what the hell I'm gonna root for the Clippers for? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just keeping it real. I like the Clippers. I know some people over there, but I'm a Laker, man. And if y'all not for the Clippers, then I don't gotta worry about the Clippers. But I'm gonna ask you this, though, they keep it real with me too now, man. Do you think the relationship between CP and Blake ultimate I can't even say the word. Ultimately
caused the
lack of success?
There you go.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
you get paid to say words, bro. You can't be messing up on camera. Like, this what you do.
Hey, don't you worry about it though, but you got what I'm saying.
They was, bro, honestly, I never once, and I was with them for 5 years, I never once seen them two have a blow up. That's what was weird about it. Like, I never once seen them just go at each other. Not in a film session, not in a meeting, none of that. It was more so like, we didn't really like talk about those things. If there was some, it was never like an air out session with them two. It's none of that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was always like weird, like, damn, because it was never like, oh, that's why they marry each other. That don't work because of that. It was never that. So that's why it was weird. I honestly think, personally, to be very honest with you, I think we weren't mentally tough. And I thought, as a group, not any one person. And I thought when adversity hit, we sometimes we went like this. We didn't just come like this. And I think, we had injuries at the wrong time. Bro, there's one stretch in the playoffs. In a 5-minute stretch, we missed our two best players. Blake get hurt. It's important. You can look it up. 5 minutes later, CP gets hurt. They're done for the playoffs. I'm like, what?
God.
Like, yeah, it was stuff like that, bro. Like, it was some weird stuff that happened. Like, weird stuff.
And we know CP, he stayed injured. So, yeah. God damn.
It was tough, bro. It was tough. That was a Lakers shot right there. I ain't about to get into that with you. Yep. I see how you bringing it.
Speaking of Chris Paul, there's actually a clip. I think it was during the playoffs in 2018. He was on the Rockets and you were with Minnesota. And watching you throughout your career, I don't think I've ever really seen you get too upset during, a game. But it looked like you gave him a little forearm chuck. You stood over him. What was it during that moment that got you that upset? And I also want to know, playing with them and against them, a lot of people, I think Chris Paul rubs a lot of people the wrong way. That's just my view of him. I think a lot of people love him, and I think a lot of people don't like him. But we've seen this guy get into it with chippy little stuff like this with multiple guys around the league. So talk a little bit about that moment, and why do you think Chris Paul is getting into it with multiple people across the league?
Well, the one with me, like you said, I played with him 5 years. So I've seen some of those, back and forth exchanges. And credit to him in this situation. He'll do whatever it takes to win one game, whether the cameras is on, whether it's practice, whatever it was. Some of our best battles was when I was on the second team and he in the first team, and we talking shit back and forth to each other, in practice, like really going at it.
Right.
So CP stole on me. He hit me, man. Y'all didn't see it. He got me in the mouth, bro. I'm like, hold up, see, damn. And he didn't even say like, oh, I got you.
You supposed to run though, ain't no
Nah, that's the game I'm talking about. So I got him with a forearm a couple plays later. So he had got me in my mouth. Like he kind of got me. He didn't sock me like that, but he kind of got me in the mouth, forearm in my mouth or whatever it was. So I was like, oh no, he didn't even say my bad, nothing. So then that's how that happened afterwards.
That's
so
where
I'm
it
like,
started.
nah, that's where it started. Y'all saw the end of it, and then I stood over it. But no, that's my brother, and he's one of the most competitive people I've ever seen in sport. And that's why I think a lot of that is there, because he'll do whatever it takes to win. And I'm not saying he's dirty by any means, but he'll do whatever it takes to win anything, though. Like one time, I'm gonna give you a story. One time we were, how it is, P, when you come back from All-Star, that first practice is usually hard. Not for the guys as an All-Star, but it's like a harder practice. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like guys have been off for 5 days, whatever. And so we practiced for 3 hours. And then after that, CP and I stayed for another 2 hours, just shooting spots one-on-one. It was the first day, and people were like, our trainer, Jason Powell, JP, he was like, man, y'all got to get off the court, bro. Like, we got practice again tomorrow. But that's just what it was with us. But that's my brother. Like, it's nothing but love. And very few people that I've seen in this business, period, love the game as much as he does. And he's one of the greats.
I do see that.
That is where, I'm not the fondest of CP these days, but that's kind of where our fall off came about. You know what I mean? Because people don't know this. Me and CP used to have a great relationship, right? Like, he was the reason I got LASIK. Had a conversation with him. He recommended a eye doctor for me. I went to go see the eye doctor, and I got LASIK, and my eyes have been terrific. But our relationship was up to that level where I could give him a call, like, like, hey, like, my shit is fucked up. And so now, fast forward, we get into I think it was a playoff matchup against Phoenix, or it was a regular season game. Can't remember which one it was, but we get into it. And words was a little, words was thrown out there that shouldn't be thrown out there between you know what I mean, 2 men. And so that kind of just drew the line for me. And I'm one of those, once you're on one side, bro, you stay in there.
Yeah.
And so absolutely, I get where that competitive nature comes from. I don't know if it's that little man syndrome, but he definitely got that competitive nature.
Now, I was about to say, P, I know for a fact if y'all got into it, just like me and him, and we're good now, but it's over basketball. It has to be something competitive. It would never be nothing away from the court. Like you said, one of the best people. Family's unbelievable. Mom, dad, brother, everybody.
Y'all got to get back cool, P. He gave you the vision to see. He gave the doctor the call. You got to be back cool with him, man. He gave him the vision.
It was respectable at the moment because I looked up to him. You know what I mean? I'm the type, like, if you are OG to me, like, I'm going to respect that 100%. You know what I mean? I ain't going to never go against. You'll never hear me disrespectful. You'll never hear me call you out your name. Like, if I respect you as an OG, like, you got it 100%. I'm blessing you with that OG. But, you know, if you give me some type of way, I can't respect that.
So it's nothing that if this season, y'all play each other again, nothing.
It is what it is.
Okay, then it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
No, Jack, you asked these questions. I got a question about ATL. We gonna get ATL too. What you gonna do, man? I'm hearing about meetings. You don't know.
We all want to see that.
Listen,
what's going on?
Y'all gonna get ATL too when y'all wake up from y'all dream and tell me how it was. Tell me how it was, man, because I ain't got a call from nothing. At the end of the day, I tell you this. It's been about 20-something years now. Don't
say you don't want to do it. Don't do that.
I don't want to mess up. No. I'm going to say this. If they give me the call, of course I'm going to do it. But I don't want to mess up something that I think is so great. And I know sometimes giving people something that they want can not always be your great. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many stories that I done heard from scripts that I actually sat down and read a script of ATL2. And some stuff at the time I would say was great to do. But since the time has changed, I don't even know how they would do that script, how they would write it or do, because there's so many things in the world now that done changed. And
so much shit went on.
Yeah, and then with our girl Lauren London, I don't know how she feels about even being in the entertainment business as much as from back in the day. And, some of us, Evan does his thing. Jason Weaver is doing the Shy with me right now. We still doing our thing. Al B, we still here. Some of us still look, we all look young and we ready to, to do that movie, whatever for the people. But I'm not going to sit here and think that's the only thing that I got going on in my career to say, I got to do ATL2. If it come, it come. And I would love to do it for the people, but
that's what the people want. I heard we getting a Friday. I heard we getting a new Friday.
Well, y'all got to talk to Will Smith, Dallas Austin. Y'all got to talk to Lauren London, T.I., Jackie Long, Evan Ross, Albert Daniels, Jason Weaver.
We talking to Jackie Long now.
DJ Malika. I'm going to tell you this to the camera. The fans want an ATL2, y'all. Y'all better do this movie before we all get too old and can't move, because I do got sciatica. And all I'm saying is I can't be out there skating like I used to. So if we going to do this, let's do it now. Give it to the people, because the people are asking. We all just want to, do something great for the people. So Dallas, Will Smith, and Warner Brothers, I'm going to say this once and I'm going to say it here and they can say it with me. We all want a sequel, and that's what it is. Stamp it up and let's get it done.
Appreciate that.
P, I got one more follow-up question.
I
got one more follow-up question for Jamal, just because I'm curious on perspective. Because, you're a little bit older than P, and I understand what you were saying there, P, on there's certain lines that get crossed on the basketball floor when you are, shit-talking. But I've been on a lot of basketball courts, P, with a lot of players, and I've never been in the NBA, but I've heard some wild stuff. And I'm just curious from your perspective, Jamal, do you believe there is a line? Because guys use that to get under people's skin and to get them upset and to make it personal, because that's a way that they can, possibly disrupt the skill that they have on the floor. Do you think there's a line on what shit you can talk and what you can't?
I don't think it's a line on what shit you can talk and what shit you can't, but it's a line on, okay, if you take it there, now we're in somewhere else. Like, you cross that line as far as like, yo, you said that, we got to handle this differently now. So yeah, that line could be crossed, but I'm thinking, when you were saying it, I'm thinking about some of my OGs. Like, Gary Payton would say anything. If he thinks it's going to bother you and get you out your skin, he's going to say anything. And he may not even remember he said it when the game's over with. Like he may be like, oh shit, I was just saying that's it. You know what I mean? So yes, to answer your question, like clearly, yes, there's a line in that way, but just know if you cross it, anything can go from there. Like it can go wherever at this point because you kind of disrespected me personally. You said something foul about my family, whatever it might be. Yes, now it's a little different. So I may look at you different. I may treat you different. I may react differently. You know what I mean? So yes, in that regard, yeah, it can go there. So yeah, there's lines you just don't cross. But if you do cross them, just be prepared for whatever comes after that. At that point, the gloves is off.
That's fair.
That's what it is. That's what I stand on. I'm standing on business on that note. Hey, JC, so speaking of talented groups, obviously that Clippers team was ultra talented. You was also on another ultra talented team with that Atlanta Hawks team in 2010, it being your first Sixth Man of the Year award when you got Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Mike Bibby, loaded roster. What is like, talk to us a little bit about that experience playing with those guys.
So, bro, at that time, and you know, because you came in, like you said, at the tail end of kind of how the era's changed, but at that time, you were known, I was getting known as like a really good player on bad teams, so I was looked at as a loser. So I'm like, bro, I'm not a loser. I won in high school. I won in college. You know, I won since I was a kid. So I'm like, man, I'll do whatever it takes to win at this point and be looked at differently. So then, as fate would have it, I get traded from Golden State to Atlanta. And when that happens, they already got their starting five in place. Josh, Bibby, Marvin, Al, and Joe. And so I come off the bench. And I know I was going to come off the bench coming in the season. So before the season starts, I'm going to runs locally in Seattle. Easily, I could be one of the first players playing. I'm waiting to the second and third game just so I can get used to seeing like, okay, the game's going to start before I came in. I've never done this. So I'm trying to trick myself. And so then when I go there in the first game, I come off the bench. I think I was playing Indiana. I had 3 points. You could look at it. I was 1 for 2, 3 points. And I'm like, man, I feel weak. I feel like the people looking at me different. Like I slowed down. I'm in my own head. So I went from that to Joe Johnson and Woody pulled me in the office like, no, dog, you got to go be you. Like, you're still going to be one of the top scorers on this team, etc. I'm like, oh, so I went from that thinking to like, oh, I'm Superman. The show don't start till I get in. Y'all do your thing. Y'all the appetizer. When I come in, it's real. So that's how I changed my mindset. And that changed my career because I think I was able to play longer, to be honest with you. I think I was able to be fresher. I'm going to get second unit guys. So now when I come in, I'm the main focus on offense. Joe and those guys don't get the ball when they out there. When I come in, it's kind of my time. And I had the city with me. Like I had never played in a city where everything was like us, like all around. Even the people doing the piss test was us. I'm like, damn, you doing the piss test? I thought this is a whole different feel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this is dope. And they showed a lot of love. And I think like that team was really good, but I brought a little flavor to it as well. So it made our team like special. We won 53 games, Sixth Man of the Year. I averaged 18 off the bench. Should have been all-star. Along with Josh Smith, he really should have been an all-star. Yeah, he was third. We were third in the Eastern Conference. So I thought we'd get a couple all-stars, but Josh should have got one for sure.
That's respectable. But talk to us a little bit about, because obviously Melo had the situation where they wanted him to come off the bench probably too soon for where he was at, and so for you obviously could still fill it up, still like. You're a starter. How was that like now to have that mindset of like coming off the bench? Was it more so just you all in with the team? Was it because I know like it had to be from a mental standpoint, like, no, I'm not no bench player. Like I'm not coming off the bench. Like I'm good enough to start. And I compare that to the Melo situation because again, they wanted Melo to come off that a little prematurely. How was your mindset to be able to shift to that, knowing like I know I'm a starter, but this is my role and I'm gonna accept it?
I took it and honestly, like I said, I wasn't as big as you or Melo, so you guys are like super duper duper stars. So I can understand y'all, like even AI when it was like when they try to get him to come off the bench in Memphis and in Detroit behind Stuckey, like, dog, I just did this and that, and I can still do this with that opportunity. But for me, I wasn't as big. I was more like an urban legend, like a street legend. Like you took me off the park and I'm just hooping. Like I was cool. I'm like, man, I'll do whatever. So, and I wanted a different, like, not that I wanted, but I pride myself on any challenge I can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and still be effective. I find joy and pride in that. But one thing P and Jack and Dallas people don't realize is when you sacrifice to come off the bench, you're sacrificing a lot because like I said, I should have been an all-star. if I was starting with those exact same numbers, I would have been an all-star. But the coach was like, nah, you come off the bench. I'm like, so damn, y'all want to reward me and say, oh, he's doing this noble thing, come off the bench. But then when it's time to pick for the all-star, he's like, nah, he's a bench player. You're still sending double teams, all that. So sacrificing all-star means you're going to sacrifice contracts. If you're all-star, your contract's slated. You know
in
what
my
you're going to
book,
get.
you an all-star, JC. You my all-star,
I'm a hood
man.
all-star, Jack. I'm a
you
hood
my
all-star,
dog. I don't care how they see it. Shit.
I appreciate it. But so you're sacrificing time, you're sacrificing money as well, because with that contract, you're sacrificing all the way around, not just the playing time or your ego of not starting. And people don't see that. But what's dope about it is I didn't know years after I'm done playing, I'm in gyms all the time with my son, with these kids. And they're like, man, I want to be a sixth man too. Like, I never knew that was the vision, or like it was going to be a cool thing after myself and Lou did it. You know what I mean? Like that's really, really dope. And because that's legacy, right? Like, I didn't know that was on the other side of that.
Yeah. No, I would say you definitely made it cool to for someone that know they could be a starter, but I'm going to thrive in this role of coming off the bench and being a spark. And now I get to run the show. Like, I still get to be who I am, even if I start or if I come off the bench. So I think you made it cool, and you made that, accepted of being the first guy off the bench, and as soon as you come in, it's go time. So if they named that award after you, would you be all for that?
Oh, yeah. I think myself and Lou could be, like, we could share that.
And Lou,
Yeah, because I think we both, like, pushed it forward. Because you had Jason Terry, Detlef Schrempf, Manu. You had a bunch of dudes, but, I mean, let's just keep it real. In our urban community, people weren't feeling we never grew up saying I wanted to be a sixth man. Never grew up. Exactly. Like, that wasn't the goal. You know what I'm saying? So now that you have kids, like, no, I come off the bench, it's all good. They did it. They made it look cool. They got swag when they play. That's cool. And just when you were talking, it made me think, imagine that, right? So I look at it like I was in a band. Like, okay, I'm known as a drummer. Boom. Damn, you need me to sing too? I could do that. You need me to play the piano? I could do that. And I can dance too. So I prided myself on that. And I felt like not only would it extend my career, it'll give me more value, because what team wouldn't want me 20 points damn near coming off the bench?
Coming off, you know what I'm saying? Versatility of that. Yeah.
The versatility of that. Exactly. That's value with that.
I was going to say, JCPG always told me, honestly, like, how hard it is to score 10 points in the NBA. Like, what you laughing at, Dallas? You like how I do that? You like how I break my head?
Remember, who did he say would score 10 easy? Like, he said Terrell Owens, or it was some wild.
Yeah, like, Terrell Owens.
He said Terrell Owens. Like, he gets 10 easy. I'm like,
he ain't scoring 10.
He ain't scoring 10 in the league.
He ain't scoring 10.
That's why I'm laughing, Jackie.
Yeah, he's not scoring 10 for sure after I done learned, from my boy. But I'm saying this to say, you being sixth man, getting double teamed and all this, you are the only player in NBA history to have 50-point games with 4 different franchises, which I don't get, man, scoring all these points and got to be a sixth man. But I want to know, you play for the Bulls, the Knicks, the Warriors, and the Suns, getting them 50 pieces, man. Which one is your favorite?
I'm going to tell you 2 of them. So, damn, it's story time. I got to give you 3 of them. I'm sorry. The first one in Chicago. The first one we play in Toronto. I'm with the Bulls. And Roman Madrowski, you can look it up. It was his last day on the beat. He's like, man, why don't you get 50 today? And I'm tying my shoes. I said, I could do that. And he's like, yeah, okay. I said, I'm going to do it today. And I scored 50. Afterwards, I'm wearing S. Carter's and we're in Toronto. And I still got a BlackBerry, so I ain't get the message till I got back to Chicago. But Jay texted me and said it must be the shoes. So that was dope. The one in New York, I had 52. That was the hottest night of my life, because that was one of those ones, Pete, where you're having a Wednesday workout and you make 20 in a row. Like, I made 16 straight shots. So I came out the game with 7 minutes to go. I had never been that hot in an NBA game. Like, that was if I stayed in, I could have got 65 to 70. Like, I was that hot. So that was my hottest one.
And it was in the Garden.
Heath Ledger was there, bro. Heath Ledger was there.
That's my next question. I was going to ask you something. I was going to ask you about my boy.
Okay. About Heath?
I was going to ask you because they say he was at one of them games, and when you scored them 50, they say Heath Ledger, that's what you made him want to start playing basketball.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Share that story.
So that same night, since we were on that game, I used to always look at like celebs in the crowd. The Knicks had like a little section. I'd see the celeb. Yeah, I saw he was at that game. I'm like, damn, he's at that game. So about a year ago at this point, we got an email to my foundation, and the guy was like, I forgot his name. And he was like, hey, just want you guys to know, Heath Ledger was at the game that night. I was sitting next to him. Our kids played together, yada, yada. He said, but we went to eat at Spotted Pig, which Jay owned in New York. He's like, went to eat with Jay that night, and he told Jay about what you did. And you helped him start getting into playing basketball. He said he was quiet talking about you, and it was crazy. So I'm like, damn, this is crazy. So you never know who was there watching. The influence, right? And how you're influencing all these kids now. I got to tell you a story, Pete. My son, and we'll get to it, but my son we're in the gym shooting. He said, hold on. He went on and put on that Erykah Badu. Didn't you know? And then he went into his PG mode and started getting his. I said, oh, okay. But he would not start until that song came on, and he went to it. But the influence.
That's love.
Yeah. Then the last one was tough because honestly, Jack, I didn't know that was going to be my last game. So I'm thinking, Dirk has a farewell, and I needed 25 because at that point, I think myself and Kobe were the only ones that scored 25 in their 19th year in 3 straight games. So I got 25 going to the 4th. And I'm like, oh, I could just hoop now. And then 51. And that was crazy.
Hit.
Yeah, off the bench. Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
I still ain't hit 50.
I was about to ask you, P, have you scored?
I still ain't hit 50. I've been close. I got a couple 48s, couple 47s.
P, you could get 50 so easy.
With this team, he definitely can.
He could get 50 so easy, but the way he plays, because when you're rolling, bro, like it's not only fun to watch and it's beautiful, watch, but your points start counting by sixes. Like it went, damn, he went to 6, he had 12, damn, he had 18. Like you start going that fast, so you can get 50 easy. It's definitely a scheme to it too. By the way, it's definitely a system.
Yeah, you got to shoot me that system.
Yeah, it's a system to it. Well, first off, you got to shoot 17 threes. You got to shoot 17 threes. And you're going to be high because you're going to shoot a lot. So you're going to make about 8 or 9 of them. So that takes you right there to 24, 27.
Okay.
You're going to get 8 to 10 free throws because they're going to be fouling you. You had 37. You're going to get 4
the rest
middies.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. 45.
Couple transition Jones.
You're already there. You're going to cruise to it, too.
You ain't doing it. You, baby. Come on.
I'm going to try. Me and that brace, boy. Me and that brace. We're going to try.
Hey, I told him, JC, the other day, and like he was doing, I told him he got to start getting more triple-doubles. When was the last time he had triple-double? He said he think last season. And I'm like, on this team, you can have triple-doubles all day. Look what he had the other night. Again. I'm just saying.
Close.
I'm just saying, P.
Nah, the game is easy for P, bro. Like it's really funny how easy it is. Like, damn, and it's fun to watch. Like, and you guys know when you see an actor, Jack, or Dallas, you watch, you like, man, that dude is different than the rest because the way he does something, it could be y'all can say the same line, but he does it a little differently. Like Pete got that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little difference that come with it.
Yeah, I think especially at this age, it's crazy that I've been fortunate to be a scorer. And I guess make the game look easy from a scorer's mentality. But I've always got the pleasure of playmaking. Like, I love creating and, making plays and making the game easy for everyone around me. And it's it's comical to me because, people see me as, an ISO scorer, an ISO player, but I've only learned breaking down dudes to set someone up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's always been my game as a kid coming up. And then I just learned, I played a ton of one-on-one, so I've always learned how to shoot over people and create space. But my whole game was always, I was taught to create for others, like play and make the game easy for everyone else. So that's me by nature. And so, like, that's why I think I just don't have that 50-piece mentality. I never had that mentality. It's just like I want to make the game easy for everybody around me. I want to create. I want to distribute. You know what I mean? I want to play defense, take the pressure off of people. I want to lock up.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Fuck that. Get 50.
I'm a try.
He would rather get 35, 13, and 12 than to get 50. Like that's exactly. He got that T-Mac all around, smooth, can do it all day.
P game is smooth.
And then guard. Like, I remember when you would guard me, I'm like, oh, shit. First off, I got to get you in the pick and roll. And when you're in a pick and roll, I got to push dribble in front to get more space so I can, in bigs and drop coverage, so I can push dribble to get you just enough, and he's back far enough I can get the midi. So, your defense was serious, too.
Yeah, because, Roy was in that deep drop.
Yeah, in that drop. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to make sure P get the screen.
Yeah, I couldn't do nothing with it. We're back for another week with our friends at MetaQuest and a MetaQuest mixed reality headset.
We're only a couple weeks into the season, but Peace talked a lot about the importance of mental health in keeping him at the top of his game. especially things that help him stay calm and focused like meditation. So this week, he's been testing out a new MetaQuest experience from Allo Yoga called Allo Moves XR.
Allo Moves is a virtual sanctuary that blends your space with immersive and inspiring environments. You can practice with top instructors in yoga, Pilates, and mindfulness wherever you are.
Guys, what were your thoughts on the experience?
I thought it was awesome. I love the relaxation and the meditation aspect of it. Like it was really dope.
I honestly like the personal trainer that's right there in your face. She right there. She talking to you. I had a girl. I even looked at her feet. I said, damn, this is real. She had her nails done. She was telling me, get your mat. I got my mat. She had me doing some, like all this type of stuff. I was doing, it was dope. I was dope. I was like, look, come here. I almost asked for a phone number, but I knew she wasn't going to talk back.
So now you feel 40.
I feel 40 because it's honestly been helping me out with my sciatica.
There you go. So head to meta.com/quest to check out Allo Moves XR and see everything else that's possible on MetaQuest. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again.
That's right. When Mint Mobile saves $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. Fellas, what is your favorite nostalgic cell phone?
Ooh, there's a lot of them. I'm gonna go with the Sidekick. That's what I'm feeling right now. Sidekick was amazing. What about you, P?
Where you at?
Okay.
I'm going to go with the chirp. You dig?
Where you at? I'm chirpy too.
You chirpy.
I'm chirpy. Next easy.
So say bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts.
To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/podp. That's mintmobile.com/podp.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds are slower above 40 gigs on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Playoff football is nearly here. Basketball season is in full swing, and there's no better place to eat good than with Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right, P. With Buffalo Wild Wings Go, you can order 20 boneless wings, a large fry, and up to 4 dips for only $16.99.
Ooh, and you can choose up to 4 sauces, which means you can get Asian zing and honey barbecue and mango habanero and my favorite, lemon pepper. Now, fellas, what y'all choosing?
I'm going to go with that lemon pepper. Can't go wrong with a good lemon pepper.
Jackie, I've been leaning more and more honey barbecue. I think it's my favorite flavor.
Sound delicious.
Honey barbecue, that do sound delicious.
Sounds delicious.
But guys, I got to ask one more question, and this is the real true question. Are you taking ranch or blue cheese, though?
Ranch!
Ranch. Easy.
All day.
So order 20 boneless wings, a large fry, and 4 dips for only $16.99 with Buffalo Wild Wings Go. I do want to talk about, you spoke a little bit about Jay-Z being, or him texting you after that 50-piece wearing the S. Carters. How did that relationship grow? How did you and Hove get so tight?
Well, it's crazy because imagine this. You get so tight with Michael Jordan that you like, MJ, I want to meet Jay-Z. He's like, okay. So then he tells Wes, we know Worldwide Wes, right?
Worldwide Wes.
I'll never forget, I tore my ACL. We're in Chicago one of those summer nights. And before you have surgery, like you have to strengthen your legs. So you got like a week of not doing nothing. So they were like, Wes, like, why aren't you on your crutches? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm strengthening for my leg. I'm good. I got to have surgery next week. And I'm walking to Wes. He's standing outside the car. And I'm not realizing that it just looks like any other car on the street. When I get to Wes, about 2 feet from him, the window rolls down. And it's Jay. And I say, oh, shit. I'm like, oh that's my guy. So it caught me off guard. And then I start, like, he would come to Hoops the Gym where I was playing, where MJ was playing there. And I was on the team. And man, one time, Hoops the Gym was so legendary. And you go to UCLA. Jay-Z and Beyonce are sitting there on the court watching Michael Jordan like play. Like the stories is ridiculous, bro. It was so many people in there. So he's watching us play. And then we kind of, started a friendship or whatever. And then from there, I was already with Reebok. I went and played for him in the Rucker. And when I went and played for him in Rucker, our relationship really took off. And that whole Blackout Game, like all that, I was only supposed to go once. I ended up going like 6-7 times. And then from there, when he got with S. Carter, that's when it was like, yo, you know, it's a funny story. So Jalen Rose and I always got Reeboks. We were both were Reebok athletes. And I looked over at my locker. I had like a box. It was black and gray. I looked at his lockers. We were in the same stuff. He didn't have them. I'm like, what are these? And I open it up. It's the S. Carters. I'm like, oh, shit. So they sent them to me. So now I started wearing them in the game, and our relationship really took off. I got a rock chain and everything.
Oh, that's you gang. Yeah, you family.
He won his first ones.
Wish I had an OVO chain, but no.
Here you go, Dallas. Here you go.
Jamal, for the fans.
Hey,
for the
me
fans.
and Jack on the West. I don't know where P at right now. We on the West right now.
I'm straight West Coast. I'm straight West Coast.
There's a lot of flip-flopping going around over here. I'll tell you that.
I'm straight West Coast.
You just spoke a little bit about that Blackout Game. Jamal, if you wouldn't mind just sharing with the viewers that don't know about that story, what was the most memorable part of that game that was supposed to take place? And if you could just quickly share that, because it's awesome that Jay handpicked you to be on his squad and you were going to face up with Allen Iverson, Melo, Yao Ming. Talk about that game and what was going to happen.
So what was going to happen was it was Jay-Z's team against Fat Joe's team. Everybody knew they were the two top teams all season long. So now it's like the apex. This is it. So one of those summer nights, Jay tells us that he rode past the park at 10 a.m. At 10 or 11 a.m. At that point, there's already like 8,000 people outside. Everybody's trying to get in this game. This is the one everybody's been talking about. So we'd always meet at 40-40. I go to 40-40 myself at that time. Rich is out there, Rich Paul, LeBron, Eddie Curry, Sebastian Telfair. Everybody's outside. We always get on the bus to go to the park. Well, the lights go out. And we're like, okay, you know, it's New York City. The lights ain't going out. Like, okay, this is New York, bro. Like, it'll be on in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. And they didn't come out. And they never came back on. So we all went to Hot 97. Fat Joe's on there. It's the only radio station everybody can listen to. And we're on there talking crazy. We were talking a little crazy. And they was talking crazy about the game. They got their people. Shaq was going to come out. And they were like, let's reschedule it. But the next day, Jay and Beyonce were going on vacation. So it was no reschedule. If the game didn't happen that day, it wasn't happening. And ultimately, that's what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it never happened, bro.
Wow. That would have been historic.
Crazy.
I just wanted to ask you this, a little nosy question, though, because you did both. I wanted to know, were you more nervous to hoop at the Rutgers or in the NBA for the first time?
The Rutgers, bro. The Rutgers. And the NBA was crazy.
Come right.
Yeah, bro, they don't care about nothing. They don't care about nothing but your performance. They don't care about your name. They don't care about. They can't wait to boo you if you own some bullshit. Like,
what is it that
don't care.
What is it that the fans are looking for though? The flashiness, the scoring, the points, the dunks. Like, what is it that
buckets.
they like?
They want the buckets, bro. Don't come out here on no cool like passing. Like, no, come perform. You're a pro. They want you to separate yourself and show the difference. I used to be at IIT in Chicago. Crazy story. D Rose told me when I played with him in Minnesota, he's like, bro, you was one of the first pros I seen in a person, like in the summer, just on some summer league shit. Like, so you never know who's watching, but those kids, those adults, they're going to let you know about yourself. So all the summer leagues, bro, was probably harder, to be honest with you, because when you're on the pros, everybody's a pro. But you're supposed to go there and perform. Like, you got to go separate yourself and put on a show that they're going to remember.
They looking for you to score.
They looking for
it. They want to.
Yeah. Oh, Jack, that's like me and you read lines. You come up in Seattle and read some lines. I'm like, that's Jackie Long. He better not be mad. That's Jackie. Jack, don't be messing up.
Right.
Don't be
bullshitting.
Yeah, don't do that.
I sure ain't. I tell you that. But no, that's all I want to ask. Which one was harder? Because I know they both, the NBA, got the best of the best players in the world, and the Rucker, of course, got the best urban legends, and you know, just wanted to know the difference. But I probably would have said the Ruckers as well, because it just seemed, just that name alone would just sound tough. Going to the Ruckers.
And all eyes is on you.
Yeah. Jack, it would be like you, and I just heard Denzel say this. It would be like you doing a movie where you can shoot it, reshoot and all that, and then being on stage doing it like on theater type, where it's like, man, I got to be sharp. I got to be on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
because you can't mess up on stage at all. Straight.
I'm telling you. Yeah, they want to see it.
I got a follow-up question just on your love for the game to entertain on a basketball court. Because I know you have your runs in Seattle, your Pro-Am. I was fortunate to come down there and play in it.
Man, came and dropped almost 50 quick. You almost 50 type of guy.
I almost had 50. I almost had the 50. In that setting, in that setting, I can go for a 50 piece. I can go for a 50 piece because I know, like, all right, this is mindless. I'm just out here to perform, like, play and do my thing. But for you, I know that like it's certain people obviously that play basketball and very good at it, but it's people that know how to hoop. And I look at you like you a hooper and you know how to entertain and put on a show. And I know it comes from a place of just love of the game because you still do it. Even people I talk to, Mike Ladd, I think you know Mike Ladd. That's my man.
Yeah, he talks about
Fresno. Fresno State, baby. But I would talk to him. He was like, dog, literally, Jamal plays basketball every day. Like, so because I'm asking him like, what kind of workouts you? He's like, bro, he hoops. Like, he hoops. You mean where he hoops? He plays ball every day. Where did that passion, that love for the game come from?
Bro, it's my life. Like, you know how now when you're talking to kids, you're like, man, if you're not working out right now, there's a kid right now in Chicago, LA, New York, working out on the ground. Like, that was me. I was that kid. So that's why I could dribble so good. Seattle rains a lot. I'm always, I'm out there for hours. I'm looking around, ain't nobody here. Cool. Like I feel like I was born to play basketball. Like if you give me a ball right now, bro, I'm telling you, it feels like something takes over my body. I feel like I can literally do anything with a basketball. I could do a move I've never done before in a split second. It just happens. It's like a gift, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And the feeling I get, bro, it's ridiculous. And it's funny because my son is the same way. And I haven't even had some of those thoughts since I was a kid. But I owe basketball everything. Like I literally owe the game everything, bro. And I've never cheated that. I used to be like, I'll pay the NBA to let me play in the NBA as a kid. Like I was one of the ones that was sneaking the game. And I see Michael Adams shooting, before a game and the house music that's playing. I'm like, oh, that's what the pros listen to? I'm going home to listen to that. I was that kid, bro. So I just love the game so much. Yeah, and now talking the game like on TV and stuff and coaching allows me to like feel my passion in a different way.
That's
working
love
with players and stuff. Yeah, it's dope, bro. Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah.
So Vince Carter being one of your greatest advocates, he calls you the greatest ball handler that he's considered or that he's ever seen and considers you to be, obviously, as we all do, a Hall of Famer. What is your favorite story of y'all two competing against each other?
Man, Vince, there's so many stories. I played him when I was with the Bulls and he was with the Raptors, but I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't guarding him. I'd get 2 fouls so quick. Somebody else go get Vince because you wouldn't duck your matchup. I remember playing against him a lot when I was with the Knicks and he was with the Nets because we was right there. And Vince is just, bro, there was one I remember where he caught it and windmilled it to end the game or something. And I was like, damn, like he could do anything on it. It looked so easy.
It just looked different too,
bro. Come on, bro. I'm like, damn, like this ain't even fair. You know what I'm saying? So like he was Vince, and and you know him. He's unbelievable person.
Unbelievable human
his
being.
Humility, his like how he cares about people. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met in the NBA. Yeah, I remember that game where I think he had close to 50, ended with a live windmill, something crazy.
Jamal, you were talking a little bit about your time in Chicago, but after your rookie season, you had gone on record and mentioned that the late Jerry Krause had plans to build a super team with the Bulls. And I think he was trying to get Grant Hill, Tim Duncan, and Tracy McGrady. Do you remember the details of that plan and why exactly it fell through?
Yes, I do remember that. It was... And they even had those guys, if you go back, T-Mac actually came through the airport and they had like the Bulls cheerleaders there and everything. Like, I remember this was the first time I ever heard this term. Jerry Krause was like, why rush down and get one when you can walk down the hill and get them all? He really thought they were going to get Grant Hill, or we were going to get Grant Hill, Tim Duncan, and McGrady. And if you go back, I guarantee they were all free agents around that time because he thought we were going to get all three. He had the money, we had the youth. And he was like, we're going to get all of them. His mind was thinking like that, for sure. Yeah, he was absolutely thinking like that.
Man, super team.
That's crazy, right? Could you imagine Mac and Grant and Tim Duncan on the team? Like,
and TD? Oh, my God.
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
That would have been the start of super teams right there.
Yes, it would have, for sure.
I brought up that 2010 team, and T-Mac was on that 2010 team as well. And I remember, I don't know if it was a preseason game that we matched up against y'all or it was a regular season game, but it was my first time playing against y'all, and T-Mac was one of my idols growing up. And I got a chance to guard T-Mac, and the respect that I have for this dude, he's bringing the ball up. almost playing point forward and he's bringing the ball up. And, you know, me being a young guy, I'm going to get in and I'm going to try to pressure full court.
For sure.
So I'm guarding him full court and it was like a voice in my head like, nah, that's like, you can't turn T-Mac over. Like, so I feel like I was just playing token defense. Like, I'm not my usual self. I'm not poking at the ball. I'm not trying to go, like, I'm literally like just happy to be in front of him.
Yeah.
Guarding him down the court. But talk to us a little bit about your experience of the prime T-Mac. What was he like? You know what I mean? Matching up against him and seeing him up close in the league.
Bro, he was so ridiculous. Like, and I caught him. He had just went to Orlando. Mm-hmm. So he went through that run. Bro, he averaged 32 points, damn near 6 assists, damn near 5 rebounds. When scoring was tough to come by, he was 23. He was 23. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I said this before, but I wouldn't stay with T-Mac. I'm like, bro, can I come work out with you? He's like, yeah. So I wouldn't stay with him for a week in Houston. And to see how he was working out. Because, you know, when we watch you dudes, I ain't gonna lie, we watch PG, we watch Mac, we like, man, it looks so easy. Are they really working like that? You know what I'm saying? It looks so easy. Like, are they really working like that? So I'm thinking it's going to be like, we're going to get some training in. Bro, this man's up at 6 a.m. on the track. Then he come have breakfast. Then he go work out at 8 a.m. in the gym. Then after that, he's got lunch and he's doing the weight room. Then after that, it's a break and he's back in shots. And he's working out 3-4 times a day. I'm like, damn. It was actually harder than I thought it was going to be. So I'm like, man, I didn't come here for that. I came here to get some mac sauce. You know what I'm saying? So show me a couple hang dribbles. But nah, so it was like enlightening to see somebody like that work, how hard he worked and how easy the game is. And dudes like y'all, when you go back to the passing, I've never seen somebody who was really smart who couldn't pass. Or somebody who could really pass that's not smart. So you got to see things a step or two before it actually happens. And talking to him, like how he did what he did. He was a brilliant mind. Like he's a brilliant basketball player. And the way he was like, nah, over here you could do it. He was one of the first people to show me a hang dribble right. Him and then Grant Hill like really made it make sense to me. Like he validated like, okay, Mac was showing me that because I was only a hang dribble left dude. He started showing me hang dribble right. But I don't think I've ever said I went and stayed with him for a week and stayed at his house, guest house, and we was working out every day. Twice, 3 times a day.
I ain't heard that story, man.
Yeah.
That does, because he, like, I think that's where I get that, you know, left, right into the dribble and then the right into the hang. You know what I mean? He was a killer with that. He was a killer with that move. That was like his signature patent move right there.
And y'all, like, man, when you see you guys in person, like, damn, they taller than I thought they were. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be that skilled and be that tall is like, it's crazy.
You ever did that, P? Stay with somebody to learn something from them?
Nah, I wish. I had a couple opportunities. I spoke about this a little bit with Kobe. I had an opportunity to work out with Kobe.
We got to hear this.
Man, I dropped the ball. Just because I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous hearing the stories, hearing how he operates. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous.
Yeah.
And I didn't take up the offer, but you know, after losing them, I was like, man, that's probably one of my biggest regrets.
Can you speak on for the viewer? Because people now, not saying like, obviously it's like the microwave era. Can you just speak, because we just talked about Kobe. Can you speak on, I got a Kobe shirt on. Can you speak on what it was like when you look down the other end and he comes worn out for warm-ups and just like the electricity in the building? Like, speak on that. People don't talk about that enough, that effect enough with Kobe.
Oh my God. It was magnetic, bro. Like, and so this how crazy it was for me. Obviously, like playing against him, my first time matching up against him, it was a wild moment. And then just watching him on the floor, it was almost like, man, it was like, should I be out here? Like, am I
telling you, bro?
Why am I on the court with this dude? But it was a game, and I think it was our last matchup against Kobe that season, his last season. He was in Indiana, and he had a horrible game, right? Not shooting it well. He's struggling. And, you know, Lakers fans travel. So half the arena was Lakers, maybe more than half in Indiana. It was Lakers fans. But he was struggling for 80% of the game, right? Fourth quarter comes, it's a close game. It might have been like a 3-point game, 4-point game, and it was down to like 4 minutes. I don't know what switch flipped, but it was prime Kobe. He couldn't miss. He shaking me just off a pivot step. Like, it was just vintage. And it was like, nothing I can do right now is bothering him. Like, and I had him figured out. I'm like, I'm old. He's older than me. I got the youth. I'm out playing him. I'm out working him. I'm making him work. Yeah, I'm fighting for his possessions. I'm like, this, like, for me, and I felt great. This is his last game, and I get to say I got the best of Kobe. Like, regardless, this is 38, 39-year-old Kobe. I got the best of him. Yeah. But it was like he really turned back the clock, bro, and everything that I had mapped out in those first 3 quarters, it was like he figured everything out. And it was just, he was hitting. And the crowd going crazy. Now it's like we playing in LA.
Yeah.
This is like a Lakers game now. So it just to speak on his magnitude and how electrifying he was. And like when you seen him on the court, I always was like, I have to play well tonight. Like, it was just some games you just get up for and you just automatically like, I have to play. There is no playing mediocre. There is no playing nonchalant. Like, every possession, I want to be seen every possession. And that's kind of just how, like, you know, that's the level that he demanded when you stepped on that court with him. Every possession matters.
That's a fact.
What about you, Jamal? I want to hear from your own words, like from your perspective.
Yeah, because you got a lot of matchups against him.
Yeah. I got 8 and 24, bro. Like, he was so ridiculous. Like, he was a machine. I played against Jordan when he was with the Wizards, but I never played against Jordan with the Bulls. But I was like, this is what it had to be like. Like, he was he was 0 for 8, 0 for 9. It didn't matter. He felt like he was closer to getting hot. Like, he wasn't tripping off that. He's like, dog, I'm Kobe. Like, you knew he was prepared. You knew he could embarrass you. You felt like your legs would feel like Jell-O after a while when he starts just going on one of his runs, and it was like he was taking everybody's heart. But I remember I played against him one time, and this is the first time he actually acknowledged me. It took 7 years for him to even acknowledge my existence, bro. And I scored 30 in the second half in New York, and it was his game. He became the youngest to score 20,000. And he walked up and said, "You hot as a pistol, huh?" And he had never said hello, nothing. So he came and guarded me. He ended up getting he had 42 that game. And they won the game. But at the end of the game, he gave me dab, touched my hands like, "Good game, my brother." And that was the first time we had an exchange. But I felt like I had arrived in a different way. I'm like, damn, Kobe knows my name now. Like, he acknowledged me because you know how we looked at Kobe in our era. And I'm only a few years younger, but I still look at him the same way.
I read that article. 7 years.
Yeah.
7
7 years, bro.
Because you was too close to Michael Jordan. That's why. That's what it was. You know, Kobe don't play that.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, you want to be cool with MJ? Go wear his Jordan. You ain't wearing Kobe's. You don't know me. Shit, you gonna be over there. You want to be over there? Go over there. You want to be with 23, not 24 at 8. You know?
Hey, I don't know if that's what it was, or I just didn't get no normal minutes to my 4th year. He was like, "Man, you little peon, I don't know you." But he finally acknowledged me, and I was happy about that.
Hey, bro. He said you was shooting like a pistol.
Yeah, that's what he said. You hot as a pistol. I'll never forget that, bro. Yeah.
Shout out Bean, man.
Shout out Bean.
Jamal, I heard another story, and I'd like for you to give some context. But we had Ron Artest on the show last season for Story Mode, and he shared some stories about you two in the early 2000s. But there was an article that Sam Smith wrote back in 2003 that Meta World Peace wore a headband to honor you as a protest against the head coach who wouldn't play you. Can you explain to us what was going down in that moment, and how awesome is that?
That's a real homie right there.
That's a real homie. First off, Ron was one of my favorite teammates, bro, because Ron had that DMX. Like, he'd be cool, and if PG knows this, and y'all know this, he'd be cool, and then Ron would just go somewhere else. But we used to play one-on-one every single day after practice, just young dudes just playing one-on-one. And he was so strong and can move his feet, and he was so athletic, and I'm a skinny dude, so I had to try to use my quickness against him. But I would like to think, I know it made me better. I like to think it made him, have to at least try because he was such a good defender and he was so strong. But that was my dude. But he was always like holding it down. We bonded. You know, it was all good. But I remember one practice with him. He was like, "Ma, I'm going hard today, son. I'm going hard today." I'm like, "Ron, what's up, bro?" He's like, "I'm going hard today. Watch this, Ma." So everything he's doing, he's fucking up practice. He's elbowing people. Walking around.
Yeah.
He did this like 5 times, bro. Till Tim Floyd finally was like, "Man, what is all this?" He said, screaming in his face. I said, bro. He was like from another. He did it because he signed like a 10-day guy. It wasn't even nobody a threat to him, but that was Ron. Like, bro, he went and worked at Circus City in the off time. I'm like, bro,
we know that story.
Yeah, like, bro, that's my guy, bro. I love that dude. Love him.
Oh, that was funny. He told that story.
I love hearing this though.
You're right. You got to.
I love hearing this though. Pia confirms it. Like he really did work at Circus City.
Jerry Krause found out about it. He was the one like, "No, Ron, this is embarrassing to the organization. You can't be working here."
He made his. He said he worked there for what, 3 days? He said, right?
Yeah,
it was something like all because he wanted a discount.
Yeah. Hey, did he tell you guys when he first got traded from Chicago? He was in Indiana. He was driving home to sleep in his own bed in Chicago.
I think he did say that.
Okay.
I think he did say that. He was taking. Yeah, I think he did say that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So obviously, you spoke about the relationship with MJ, and you got a call from Tim Grover that MJ actually wanted to meet you. What was that moment like? Because I got a chance to meet MJ, and it was a surreal moment. Like it was, again, as being around Kobe and seeing him, you know, in person, seeing MJ was even more magical. It was, you know, for me, you know, in basketball, it's a basketball god. It was surreal to me. What was that moment like for you when it happened?
My dad had told me, like during the draft, he's like, "Man, MJ like you." I'm like, "What? Dad, you don't know Jordan. Like, what are you talking about? You don't know Jordan." So he tells me, and Tim Grover, I'm in Chicago, and he's like, "Yo, MJ said you can meet him." I'm like, "It's 6 a.m. I'm like, "What?" Man, I took off down there so fast. I got downtown in probably 30 minutes. So I get there like 6:30, whatever it was, 6:20. And I walk in, it's just us 3 in the weight room, and I can't stop looking at him. And obviously it's just us 3, but I'm not even talking because I don't want to ruin his workout. He's talking in between sets or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I've liked your game." He's like, "This summer we could work out." And I'm like, "Okay, all right, cool." Game that. I call everybody back home. I leave at like 7. It's 5 o'clock on the West Coast, so nobody's up. I go back to practice, tell all of them I just met Jordan. And it was crazy. So the summer comes, and now this is what I've never told. So I'm going to tell you guys. The summer comes, everybody talks about how we were on the same team. Actually, the first day I played against him, and my team won. And he was pissed. Like he wouldn't sat in the corner. He was pissed. Then after that, Grover calls me. They were playing at 2. And you know, young player, you got to work out your team first. So I'm up working out with the Bulls, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Get down here." I'm like, "I thought we weren't starting until 2. He's like, "Man, get down here. MJ's not starting the game until you get here. He's waiting on you." I'm like, "Oh shit, all right." Mm-hmm. So from that moment on, we never lost for 2 straight summers, bro. Like Beyonce, Jay-Z's there. We're playing against Penny. We're playing against Stephon Marbury. We're playing against Paul Pierce. Like everybody's
loaded.
It was the UCLA runs in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like the Space Jam runs that he was doing to come back in Chicago. So I saw everybody. Matter of fact, even Charles Barkley came because he was thinking about coming back at that time with MJ.
Okay.
Yeah. Chuck was there.
What's your role? What's your role during that type of game? I gotta ask. Like, you got Michael Jordan on your team now, like, and you like to score. So are you like, you know, just giving it to him and watching him do his thing? Like, what was it like? When was it your time to score? How did that dynamic work? Just an open run between you.
That's
you
a
two.
Great question, Dallas, because I came in as a point and I'm playing with Jordan. So I really, and it's so weird. There's probably 2 or 3 times in my life where I felt my game like jump up like a level or 2. And that was one of those times. And I was playing off of him. He's the guy, but I literally, I don't know for a fact, but it felt like I hit 80% of my shots off of him that summer. Like I felt my game going to a whole nother level, and it was making its way around the thing. Like, man, that little Bulls guard, because I hadn't done shit yet. So like, man, that Bulls guard can go. I'm telling you, that Bulls guard can go. But I'm playing off of him, right? And so I remember one time I threw a full court. I'm like, oh, as soon as I let it go, I'm like, oh shit, I threw that too far. Man, this man at 40 years old, he jumped up with one hand.
Yeah.
He dribbled the ball and dunked it with one hand. I was like, oh shit. Like it looked like some Bulls. I'm like, oh, This is crazy. But he was so cold. I went to his house. I played with him there. Like he showed me around his house. Like he really like was invested in him. He tried to trade for me. Yeah, he even got my doctor for my ACL surgery. Like he's the one that told me to go get. Yeah, so I went to Alabama because that's where he was at playing baseball. Dr. Andrews. This before he was Dr. Andrews as we know him. He did my surgery, yeah.
Look at that. Michael Jordan and CP helping people out.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, bro. So he was dope. Just cold. I have his first and last pair of shoes signed to me that he wore against the Bulls, and last pair he wore the following year. So I got 2 pairs he signed for me. Then he picked me to be in a commercial with him. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I gotta ask this. So how was that commercial where you got to be young MJ? How was that?
Bro, that's not even like you dream about playing in the NBA. You dream about meeting Michael Jordan. You don't dream that the GOAT is going to pick you to play the younger him. Like, what do you dream that at? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So my agent hit me. He was like, yo, MJ wants you to be in a commercial. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. So we shot at the United Center. I was only there probably 4 hours for my part. He was there all day. And the director's name was Joe something. He directed Space Jam. He was like, okay, now go dunk. And MJ was like, no, JC don't do all that dunking shit, man. Get some else for that. So he got, for real. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, yo, am I playing like you or playing like me? He's like, just play. So if you go back and watch that commercial and slow, like you can see my little skinny arm, little peanut head. And I'm like, yo, I got that. And he's like, you got what? You reach, I teach. And now we're just going off the cuff, just hooping. And that's how they did the commercial, bro. And I got my Jordan. They gave me Jordan 1s. I had a whole uniform on. P, I'm going to send you guys a couple pictures you can see behind the scenes from that.
Yeah, I would love to check that out.
Yeah,
was it more of a one-on-one? Did y'all actually get time to like play one-on-one and it just turned into great content for the commercial?
That's exactly what it was because I'm like, what's my lines? Like I didn't have no lines or nothing. He's like, just play. Yeah. Just play and we're just talking. Just play. Yeah, that's dope. That was it. So it was this that con. So when I fly by one of those, I'm really trying to block a shot. I'm nervous, of course, but like, oh, there's nothing up there. Get down. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like so. Yeah, it was real.
Hey, I love that. Like him and Kobe, they just had a different level of shit talking. Like him saying that, like you flying by, there's nothing up. Like I jump for a Kobe pump fake, and he tells the bench like check him for feathers. Who thinks of that?
Who thinks of that, bro? Like those two, I've never seen like just the like how magnetic and how like man they're different, bro. Like just totally like they have a different glow around them. They have a different glow, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to talk about another legend. You were a part of a 6-player trade in 2004 that landed you with the Knicks.
Yeah.
To play for Isaiah Thomas at the time. You even wore, I see the number 11 to honor him. What was it like playing for who I would imagine was your idol? What was that like playing for Isaiah?
So you remember, Zeke's from Chicago. I get drafted to the Bulls. The next year I go watch the Chicago pre-draft camp. And we talked for 3 hours at the pre-draft camp. First time we ever really met. I'm like, damn, I'm talking to one of my heroes. Like, people see my behind the back. I got it from him. He's the first person I seen like sit down in a chair and go behind his back. Before it was like the long behind the back that they were doing back in the day. Mm-hmm. So when I was a free agent, he was literally, you can call at 9 p.m. on the West or 12 a.m. He was literally, they called it 901. He was the first person to call. I'm like, damn, everything you told me 3 years ago, we talked for 3 hours, you meant it. Like, that's crazy. So to play for him, bro, was like, I just talked to him today, by the way, but it was like, I know my grandma's in heaven smiling because that was one of her favorite players. We would see him on TV and she's like, oh, he's just so cute. And this, I'm like, damn, I actually got to meet you. Like, I feel like I'm living a dream, bro. That's how I've always just remained so like in awe of everything that's happened. I was never jaded. I was always stuck in the moment because I'm like with my heroes, you know what I mean? So playing for him, bro, it was a different feel. I'm playing New York where you want to put on a show, but your hero, one of your heroes signed you. He believes in you enough that like he's bringing you to his team to be a centerpiece. Like, yeah, that was different, bro. It was absolutely different for sure.
I got to follow up to Zeke, but you brought up you get in that behind the back from him. Yeah. You have a move of your own with the crossover. Where did you test that out? When did you know that was going to work? How did that move come about?
I was 16 and I was playing the Pro-Am. The Pro-Am you played in, which is now mine, it was Doug Christie's. And my first 4 games, I scored 8 points combined. So they locking me up. This is when you can hand check. I'm playing against overseas dudes. And Brian Parker, shout out to him. He's one of those dudes that locked me up. To the point I was thinking about, he's like the Tony Allen. I'm thinking about it 3 weeks later, like, damn, he locked me up. So I make the All-Star game a month later. When Doug Christie rolls his ankle, I go off on a tear. I have like 30 the rest of the way. It was All-Star game. I make it. It's me and him one-on-one. And it's coming down, I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I do the move. He goes past that Knick jersey. He goes to the door. And I lay it up. And I hold the wall up. It's like a wall underneath the basket. I'm like, Mom, what'd I do? She's like, I don't know. You did something. And I said, oh, I could do that. I could do that. And I'll tell you this, and this is breaking news. That was a shortened version of the move. There's a player in the league right now I showed the full version of that move to, who's going to do it at some point.
Wemby.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
I'm not confirming or denying.
We got that one.
I'm just telling you, hey, I work with a lot of players now. I'm just saying, as a player, I showed that move.
I can't even see him pulling that off or what that would look like.
If he did it, that would be something totally different.
Because he could probably do it from the 3-point line and then dunk it.
He can do it where somebody's really running to the 3-point line. Exactly.
Yeah, I was just going to ask too, like I had asked Drew the other day. We had Drew on our show, and I was asking him, can you teach somebody how to play defense the way you play defense? And for you on the offensive end, you just said when a basketball gets in your hand, it's like a part of you. And that's not everyone. You have a gift. So when you're sitting with somebody like Wemby, yeah, you might be able to show them how to do it, but I'm sure you guys can both agree there's something, you got to have a certain feel, and it is a gift. So do you think that you can teach someone like Wemby to have that tempo, pace, cadence with the ball, or is it something that you're just born with?
I think it's more towards you're born with it, but you can teach some of it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like you can, like Jackie can teach me to say a line, and I may say it exactly how he envisioned it. But if you have him say that same line, he's going to do it. He's going to put a little extra texture or twang on it to really bring it. That's what I think happens with a basketball. Like I can teach it very well, and now I've learned that about myself, especially coaching kids. I can teach it, but it's that extra little feel. Like Kyrie's another one, right? So he's another one. We may do a move. Somebody else may do a move who can really dribble. And if they lose or if they get stopped, they'll stop. Us getting stopped is going to put us into a whole different move just naturally where you can't really teach that part of it.
It's that improv.
You know what I'm saying? It's that improv. It's that improv for sure. Yeah. And so you can teach 90% of it.
And I got to ask this again. I should have asked this a while ago because P was saying like he heard you were out there hooping. You were a hooper. And there's a fine line between going outside and using your imagination and playing at the park and hooping and having that feel. And then there's another fine line of putting up 500 jump shots from each corner and from each elbow. So when you're sitting down with these kids that have aspirations of making it to the league and they're not as gifted as you, not everyone has that gift. Are you more of a preacher of, you know, you got to be hooping or you got to be working out here on the court? Where do you fall under, or are you in the middle somewhere?
I think you always have to hoop, but I think you have to work because you got to sharpen your skills so much where it takes the thought out. You can withstand missing 8 in a row because you know you just made 500 jumpers. It's only a matter of time before I can get 8 in a row. So I think with me, like when I'm working with guys, kids, it's not like a general palette of what they're doing. I'll go, as soon as I hear a name, like for Wemby example, I went right to, okay, let me hit Coach Pop. Coach Pop, how do you see him fitting in what you guys are doing? Because I don't want to waste Wemby's time, and I don't want to have him doing stuff that's not going to fit in their system. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's different. There's general things that work anywhere. 1-2 dribble, pull up. You know, I think hesitation, pull up, dribble, catch and shoot. All those things work anywhere. But I like to really get into the subject and see how they want to get better and how, you know, they're trying to improve and work directly with them. But there is certain things that you have to just get reps up. You have to get reps up. So it takes the thought out. That's all we're really trying to do, right? We're trying to make it so it's as natural as walking. Like everything we're doing is just, it's natural. But you can't just do it against cones. You have to do it like I have certain moves that I know only work better on one side of the court. But I had to play against people to realize that, oh, okay, shake and bake don't work as good on the right side. It works more on the left side in the middle because it gives him more room to react to that side. If in the right side, that I got to make a tougher layup fall. You know what I mean? So certain things you put in certain places. Both are needed, though.
What's your favorite? What's the name of your favorite move you like doing, JC? Like the one that you know will get somebody every time. What is that called?
Well, I
know.
Go ahead.
What is it, Pete? What is it?
That tween behind the back.
Yeah,
that tween behind the back is serious.
See, but Pete, that tween behind the back, I had to realize when I was in high school, it worked all the time. As I got to the pros, I'm like, okay, it works better with a screen and roll because you have to make them think that you're going one way to come another just for them to catch up and you're really going back the way you came from. So certain areas and certain things, but for me, I think the 2K size up, I think they call it, that's my foundation. Because if I have the ball, right, and I dribble out my left, I can hang dribble left. I can hang dribble left, right crossover. I can hang dribble left, low by. So that's 3 moves. If I put the ball in my other hand, I have the same 3 moves. So that's 6 moves from one starting point that looks the same. So that always gives me options. That's my foundation. I may hop into it, then go.
But besides, you know, we're gonna talk about your son, Lil J. But right now in the NBA, who you think is similar to you right now that got all that what you used to do?
I think they're getting rid of those players. To be honest with you, like you got to be like a superstar like P, where you have freedom. excuse me, to play like that. I think imagination, LaMelo? Kyrie wise, LaMelo's one. Like you just said, imagination. Whoever's really imaginative, because I never wanted to be in a box, and I was never scared to do my shit in front of the world. I'm like, man, I waited my whole life to be up here. They're going to take me out anyway. I'm about to go out there. You're going to remember me.
I'm going to go out on my terms.
Right. Bro, I ain't going to never fit in the analytics on the VROPs. That's going to be low. But you're going to remember when you saw me play. Like, you're going to remember that part of it. Memories and moments, bro. So for me, I was going to have a ball with it.
Jamal, just to touch on it real quick, you had mentioned that you got the opportunity to work with Wemby, and he had some very nice things to say about you. And I quote, he understands the player more than any coaches I've worked with before. That's an awesome compliment. So kudos to you. But can you walk us through the backstory of how you guys even connected?
Yeah, the first time we connected, I was calling a game. And I said, man, I'm watching the games, one of my first big games calling. I said, man, he had one of his runs where he blocked a shot, got a steal, got a dunk, all in the same, 3 possessions. I said, man, Wembenyama's the creative player that created players would create. And they was like, what? I said, he's the player that the KDs and the LeBrons, if they were playing 2K, they would create somebody at 7'5" that could shoot threes and run. But after the game, I'm walking out and he's lifting weights. And he drops his weights and he comes over and he shakes my hand. All he does is he puts his head down like he just wanted advice. I'm like, man, you're doing all the right stuff. Just keep working hard. I was blown away. I never met him. So then that goes to we have him on the show. I'm like, yo, can you do the shake? You can do the Crawford shake and bake? He's like, yeah, my trainer taught me that. So then that was in January. February comes at All-Star and I see him, and I'm rushing through the story a little bit. February, I see him at All-Star, and they're like, yo, Wemby's on the court. He's like, show me a move. But when he throws me the ball, all the rookie sophomores, all the cameras come over. I'm like, oh, I can't show him one of these unearthed moves right now. Let me just do some freestyle stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's watching. Okay, boom. Here comes May. And I get a text from his agent. It's like, yo, can we come out to Seattle? Vic, could you spend time with him and work? I'm like, what's he trying to get better at? Like, he's like, man, his hand was, I'm like, oh, I could do that. Cool. So then fast forward to June, I reach out to Pop. I'm like, yo, what would you guys, how do you see it fit? Me and Pop got on the phone. It was perfect. And then me and my son fly out there. And then from there, bro, and I won't say everything, but the way he works and the way he thinks, if he stays healthy, he will be one of the very best players. I mean, like top 5 best players ever. Because his maturity level is totally, like he read 50 books last year. He didn't even tell me that stat. But the way he prepares and stuff is like, it's something that we would say with Kobe and Michael and LeBron and those, you know what I'm saying? Like the greats of the greats. Yeah. He's in that. The way he thinks the game is ridiculous. I'm like, there's no way you're 20, bro. Like he's something totally different.
So he's got it all figured out.
Yes, he does. He does.
So Jamal, we have a segment that we use with every guest and we call it Chat PGT. And in this segment, we're going to quiz you and PG on your respective careers and see who gets the correct answer, you or Chat GPT. So this week's edition of Chat PGT is sponsored by MetaQuest. Expand your world. And the first question that we have for this segment is, what does Chat GPT consider to be Jamal's greatest scoring performance?
When I scored 52 against the Knicks because I scored 42 straight points without a miss when I was playing for the Knicks, playing against the Heat.
Okay, so 1 for 1. We've been having some good. Hey, the guests have been killing it lately, so no pressure.
No pressure. Drew got them all right. So no pressure, but you 1 for 1.
Jamal Crawford's greatest scoring performance came on January 26, 2007, when he scored 52 points in a game for the New York Knicks against the Miami Heat at Madison Square Garden. I'm going to cut it off right there. So the next question is, what Jay-Z song does ChatGPT consider to best represent Jamal Crawford?
Oof. He got a million songs.
This is tough.
What more can I say since I went out with 51?
That's what I was thinking.
Off the bench.
What more can I say?
Okay, so ChatGPT has "Show Me What You Got" perfectly encapsulates Crawford's combination of skill, confidence, and showmanship, making it a fitting anthem for his basketball legacy. That's a tough question, though. Drew had like an album.
That's a couple different ways that one, but that's a good answer. That's a tough one.
That's a wide range right there.
Damn it, Drew, getting all of them right. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and P, I need your answer on these next couple ones. According to ChatGPT, what would Jamal average in today's NBA?
Ooh.
And I want both your answers, but P's going to give an answer in here too.
I'm gonna say 25 easily. 25 easily. Okay. I mean, this JC, man, he was 40% from 3-point line. We shooting 53s a game. He 25 easily.
Is this starting or coming off the bench?
That's a good point too.
However, if he's starting 35.
Okay. So start.
I think it's in the 6-man role. I think ChatGPT's answer is within a 6-man role. But P's got 25. Easily. Jamal, what number you got for us?
I agree with PG, but I think ChatGPT got me a little lower. They're gonna say 22.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So ChatGPT's answer: modern context adjustment, factoring in more threes, pace, and favorable spacing, it's reasonable to project Crawford averaging 22 to 25 points per game in today's NBA.
Y'all both low key right. Off the bench. I see.
Okay. Again, both of these, we're going to get answers from both of you. The next question is, who would have won the NYC blackout game that never happened? Team Jay-Z or Team Fat Joe? P, you're first. We got to go back to the teams too.
Yeah, I mean, Shaq was on Team Jay-Z, right?
Yep, yeah. I believe so.
Who gonna guard Shaq? I mean, I know Yao was what, Team Fat Joe?
Shaq at the park, though, we might be fouling. It might be.
No, I feel like we might have seen a version of Shaq, because Shaq liked to showboat and perform and entertain too. So we might have seen a version of Shaq that was crazy.
Yeah,
like bringing the ball down. We might have seen a crazy Rucker Shaq. So I'm gonna go Team Jay-Z. I'm gonna go Team Jay-Z.
Jamal, who you got?
I'm going Team Jay-Z because of Shaq. Even if you're fouling him at that point, that's gonna be plus threes. If he makes the free throw, he makes it. But we're definitely getting 2 points every single time down. I'm going Team Jay-Z.
I don't think the park would have liked it either. Like just fouls every time down. Like, come on.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna boo it. They're gonna boo Team Fat Joe for fouling. So
ChatGPT's answer: in a close, high energy game, Team Jay-Z would likely have the edge, thanks to Shaq's dominance and the sheer talent of players like T-Mac and LeBron.
Hold up, man. Now ChatGPT ain't gave me no love because T-Mac. That's cool.
You caught it straight right there. You did. You did.
That's fair.
You for sure did.
There we go. Hey, well, he cleaned it up. He three? We went three for 4.
You're definitely you did well.
Dow, that was awesome. Appreciate that. That's a wrap on Chat PGT presented by MetaQuest. Jackie, it's your time to shine, Bunky. What you got for this week for the 2-minute report?
Appreciate it, P. This week's edition of the 2-minute report is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings Go. Order wings for takeout and delivery today. So, Jamal, we're going to do it a little different today on this one, man. This week's edition of the 2-minute report is a personal one, okay, for you. And I just want to set the stage for you to highlight the one and only your mini-me, your son, okay, who's on the come up, because I've seen his highlights, and the boy is off the chain. What has it been like watching your son thrive in a game you love so dearly, man?
Man, the fact that he loves it like that first. Like, I was going back to pictures when I was tweeting when he was 5, and I'm like, man, this dude's obsessed with the game. He walked up to Kobe talking about, let's play one-on-one. So he's always been like this kid. So I've always thought long-term with him, like, honestly, because when he was playing up and he was like, oh, he's not strong enough. He's just catching and shooting. I'm like, nah, he's building all parts of his game. You just won't see him right now because he's playing the long game. And now, some of it's coming to fruition. He can dribble and pass as good as he can shoot, and he's competitive. Like, he loves the game. So I think the sky is the limit for him. He loves to work. He loves to get better. PG is one of his favorite players. Like, it's dope that people are causing inspiration, bro. Like, it's really really dope to see it all come full circle and to know that you're ejecting the next generation with fuel to keep going.
Is there anything, because of course he's your son, that you teach him that you haven't taught anybody else, like certain dribbles, like skills and stuff to take out there when he on the court?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, like just different angles, different footwork to get to stuff, not just traditional things. And like we're even working on, I'll tell y'all, we're even working on hang dribbles off one leg. Like, do a hang dribble like you do a pull up, a hang dribble going to right to a one leg shot. Like, so it catches the defense off guard. So just so many different things. And then certain things I already have in my mind that I'm checklist. Okay, when he gets 16, we'll be doing that. And then some things he'll surprise me with. I'm like, oh, you're already there, because I didn't think you would get that till 16. So our conversations are different. We watch a lot of film, and he's a sponge. So it's really dope to be part of the journey.
Man, he gonna be unpredictable.
Yeah.
He better at his age than you was when you was that age?
Jack, what's crazy is we said that ever since he started playing, he's literally beat me every year. And I'm going to tell him when he's not, because bro, when I was 16, I was killing pros, bro. So you got to, in the next 2 years, you got to make the push, but he's above pace. I'm going to give you a story, and I won't take too long, but Devin Booker, I would never ask my son to work out with a pro, but Book was in town. He's like, yo, I want to get in the gym with a young fella. And they got in the gym for an hour and a half, Book's trainer, all Book's workout. And I thank Book for life for this. And he was keeping up with Book, doing stuff he was doing. And Book's looking like, what? So Book's like, man, you come to Drake concert with me. And then Book put him in his Nike spot. So it's dope, bro.
Oh,
and I seen I seen like the change in him since then. That was last
Have y'all seen his son's highlight? Have y'all seen him?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I definitely have.
It's dangerous. He gonna be a problem.
He can go. He can go. And I would love to get in the gym with him this summer. And
man, don't say
just
that.
Lock in with him.
PG Elite.
Erykah Badu's gonna be playing in the background. I'm
PG Elite.
We can keep it on repeat.
PG Elite.
We can keep it on repeat. Nah, you got my word, OG. You got my word, OG. I would love to lock in with him this summer. I would love to get some running with him this summer.
Thank you so much. I promise you, he'll be ecstatic. He'll do everything you say.
Shout out to Lil JC, man.
I gotta ask, y'all playing one-on-ones? Has he got you yet?
For that. Nah, he'll tell you he's got me, but he ain't really got me. Like, he ain't got me. Nah, I'll tell you when he gets me. He ain't got me. I still got another couple years, I think.
So it's more him thinking like, I think I'm close. I think I'm close. I think I'm close. For him, it's he sees the progression. He sees he's getting better.
Where he at right now, Jay-Z? Where he at? Is he practicing right now? Where he at?
Nah, we're about to go. You want to see him? You want me to get him?
Yeah, bring him on the camera, man. Bring him here. Let's see little JC, man.
Yeah, hold on, real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna get him in here.
Blessed podcast P, man.
Let's see the youngster. Let us see him before he get too big. Too big to get on our show.
Real quick, please. Real quick. All right, bye.
Let us see little JC.
I'm gonna put these headphones on. He's about to come in here in 1 second. Yeah, but we working tonight, bro. Like, he's obsessed with the work. He's obsessed with getting better. Like, he loves it. He's obsessed with it, and that's the part you love, because you're not pushing him towards nothing. But it's also the cheat code. Come here.
Look at it. There he is. What's up, little JC? Let us see you on the camera. Get down.
There you go, little bro.
There you go.
What's up, y'all?
Look.
Man, can we get some work in next summer?
For sure.
Hey, tell them about the song you put on. We played one-on-one. When you put on the Didn't You Know song, the Badu. You just waiting for it.
Oh, yeah, a year ago. All my friends used to play that. Like, every day.
You know? Didn't you know?
Get in the camera a little more, JC. Tell your daddy get up out the chair. You done interview him. Tell your daddy get up out the chair. You sit on down. There you go. Y'all ask the question down.
Oh, man. Nah, so you getting pops in the ones?
For sure.
For sure. He said,
yeah, see, we got some conflicting answers.
I'm getting him in the ones. He knows. He knows.
That's what's up, man. Nah, I for sure want to lock in and get some work with you this summer, man. So whatever it is, I come to Seattle, maybe get a pro-am game. OG, if I can get a roster spot,
He said if he could get a roster spot.
Man, come on, man. Tell him that's we run the red carpet when it comes to.
Nah, it was love last time. Nah, for sure. For sure got to lock in.
I seen your game, little JC. You amazing, man. To be your age, the things you doing. Keep your pat on the back, man. You got a good father and lucky to have one like that to teach you all that extra skills and stuff. So keep it up, man. I can't wait to see you in college and the NBA.
Yes, sir.
Stay hungry.
Yes, sir.
Get out of here, man.
That's love.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we was the first one to have a little JC on the pod.
Hey, you were like, you want to lead this.
I appreciate it, man. That's inspiration, bro. Like those moments are priceless. So I thank y'all for real.
Nah, we want to thank you, OG. This episode has been awesome. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but we appreciate you blessing Podcast P, bro. This was awesome. Hell of an interview, and I'm gonna definitely lock in, get your number. If I'm not updated, like I said, whatever you need from me, I definitely want to help youngin' out. Whether it's getting some work in, I'll come there. Man, I'm in LA in the summers. If y'all in LA,
we'll come wherever you tell
happen.
us for sure. Thank you. And on some real shit, like I watch all y'all's like episodes, and I saw the last one you did, not the last one, but you did one with Drew, with DeAndre, doing to everybody. Y'all are killing it, bro. Like the culture needs more of this because it's light. You still get in depth. You still bring the viewer into the subject you're talking to. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of it's spam. So you guys is killing it, bro. And I appreciate it. For real.
We appreciate that. And to piggyback off that, I just love because, forever it always seems there's like a level of respect lost between the guys that played before us and the guys that are playing currently. There's always seems to be some sort of feud between
or
the two. Or
disconnect, right?
Disconnection between the two. So it's great, you know what I mean? And that's why I love Story Mode. One of my favorite times of doing the podcast is getting to share these stories and these interactions with people that we've all looked up to, like yourself. So big salute to you, OG. Keep doing what you doing as well. We watching you doing your thing. And appreciate you again on the pod, bro.
I got to come back, bro.
Yes,
I got to come back. Maybe
please.
In person, something. I got to come back whenever y'all want.
Please do.
We know you got 10 jobs now. You over there commentating and shit, too. We know you out there working.
Man, he doing it all.
Come on.
Not to mention fatherhood.
Nah, you're a great dude, though, JC. Ever since I've known you, man, going to the games, you always been the same. Been a real, you the best, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it,
bro. Thank you. ATL2 coming out. Jackie
Come on.
Said we
y'all heard it here first, right here.
Got to go down.